Perfect.
Guys, we've got Coach Lambert here. Before you just ask questions, if you just find some names in your outlet.
Coach Lambert, Les Johns with Deacon Digest and the Deacon Sports Extra. Welcome back. Just walk me through what's it like to be back at Wake Forest?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool, really, to see all the change. Farrell Hall wasn't here when I left. The road went all the way through, so that was different. This facility is a lot different. So that's been a pretty cool part. I did get a walk through the Pruitt Center, kind of see where the old office was. Lots changed. So it's been good to be back and, to know where the state of the program is, where Coach Clawson's got the guys and coming off an 11-win season, that's hard to do. I was here before when it happened. It's not an easy feat, and so the state of the program's in good shape. So it was a pretty easy decision for me.
Talk about easy decision and the shape of the program. Obviously, the offense has been humming around at historic, clips, right?
Right.
But the defense has some opportunities. What are you hoping to make an impact? What do you hope to change? What impact do you expect to make, Coach?
Yeah, we want the guys to play fast. That's our deal. Is we want to attack and play fast and get them to buy into the team aspect. As I told Coach, everything's not all bad. I mean, they went to Boston College last year to win the Atlantic Division, and I think the game ended up 41-10 or something like that. So they've played good in spots. I really like the guys. A lot of good people on the defensive side of the ball, just people. And so that's encouraging. But I think the biggest thing for me is we want to develop relationships with them. We want them to play extremely hard, and we want them to give everything they got for Wake Forest. And that's just kind of the way we've done it over the last 30 years, and we'll continue that track.
Particular guys on the defensive side of the ball that's impressed you early? I know that you haven't seen live snaps. You've seen some work from last year, and then you've seen probably some work in training and conditioning, that kind of stuff. Anybody that's kind of stood out?
Yeah, I think Ryan Smenda, he's in a good place, played well for him. He's an older guy that's made a lot of plays. I'll miss kind of seeing Rondell. He's out this spring. I kind of liked watching him on video. I was looking forward to watching him. He plays with a high motor. We've been around some good defensive ends over the years, and I think he's got a chance to be one of those guys. But I'm encouraged by a lot of the guys. I like the two corners. Those two guys I like being around them. But like I say, a lot of good. Like that's been the fun part is, learning names and getting to know guys and a lot of good people. Coach has done a good job bringing the right kind of guys to Wake Forest to represent the university in a first-class manner. So just excited about diving deeper with them and even the offensive guys, getting to know Sam and those guys over there. Had a chance in the off season to be around AT and some of the wideouts and a couple of the offensive linemen. So just a good collection of people, and I think it's something that speaks to what Coach has done here from a recruiting standpoint. Not only good players, but just good people that are going to represent the university in a first-class manner.
What's it like to implement your system starting here this spring? How will you do that, and kind of what steps do you take to slow down kind of get guys up to speed?
Yeah, you're going to take your time on it. The number one thing is we want to play fast. We want our guys to play hard and play fast and get to the ball, and so that'll be our emphasis. We'll implement our system, that we've done over the years, and like they'll make some mistakes, and we understand that. Like they'll, it's new, so the terminology is different. 3 new coaches on the staff, so there'll be a learning curve, but they'll be okay. Like it's a veteran group that's, I think they'll be okay. We just got to develop depth. I think that's the number one thing for us coming out. They'll learn the system. They've already started in the walkthroughs. Now they'll get a chance to go out and do it against our offense. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it, and I think, kind of like where we are up front defensively. So it always starts there. and see if we can, keep the guys healthy. That's the other piece. You want to stay healthy as much as you can. So we'll see.
Brett, I'm kind of picking up on that. I'm interested in process. So when you come in day one, 3 new coaches on the defensive side, coaches who have been here, what are those meetings like trying to figure out what you're going to do? And is there some give and take there?
No, you just ask input of everybody. We got idea of what we're doing, like we know what we want to do, but like I said, Coach Cohen, Coach Williams, they were here last year. So you're always picking their brain on how they did it in the past and what they did and what was the things you did well. And so you're always having those discussions, and it's never about one person. That's what I love about the game of football. It's never about one guy, right? It's all of us working together. And the same thing happened this time last year at Purdue. We had a new collection of defensive coaches. One guy left after the first spring practice. So just kind of worked through that. A lot of good people in the defensive staff room once again. So it's easy to work together with people, and everybody has value and we all have strengths, and so we have to utilize that and make it all work together. But everybody's input is valuable. Somebody in the end has to make a decision, and that is me and then Coach Clausen. And so you just put your system in and then take ideas and, yeah, let's do it that way. And so it's a collaborative effort, with making adjustments.
How much and how the game has changed with such a focus on wide open offense? How hard has your job become?
Difficult. It is. It's especially with the run pass option game, like where they're, showing you run, but they're actually throwing the ball. Those have been the difficult pieces, and linemen downfield, you're always battling that, especially for linebackers. It's a difficult task because they spread the field, they go fast, they're showing you a run, and yet they're throwing the ball, or the quarterback's running the ball. The Big Ten was a lot different. From that standpoint, a lot different than the ACC or Conference USA. There was a lot more big guys in the game, 12 personnel, fullbacks, things like that. So that was a little bit different. And going to the Big Ten last year, I hadn't coached in that league, so that was a lot of fun for me. It's a lot of fun to be back in this league where it's a little more wide open. It'll be a tough chore for us playing against our offense every day with our skill position. We're pretty good at wideout. The fun thing for me as we're going through off season, I'd ask who's that guy, and every time I turn around, he plays wideout. I'm like, we're at wideout you, man. It's like good players at wide receiver. So that'll be a lot of fun for us to try to cover them in the spring.
How would you best, quantify your defensive system? Like you're running 4-2-5.
Yeah, we're a down 4 team that wants to be attacking. We want to put pressure. The late Skip Prosser, when I was here before, he used to come in our defensive room and say all the time, just blitz, nobody likes pressure, right? Just keep the pressure on. And, Skip was a Pittsburgh Steeler guy, and he used to come by. So we try to apply pressure if we can. But we want our front to be active. Like I said, we've been around a lot of good defensive front guys, whether that's end or interior. We had the chance to be around George Karloff this last fall. George has come out early. He's going to be a real high draft pick, but his impact on the game was monumental every week. I mean, he just affected the game, and so I feel good about where we are as a defensive front, and so we got to see what those guys can do. But we want those guys to attack and make plays, and at the same time we got to apply some pressure, and we want to guard people. We just don't want easy access and things like that, throws. So we're going to try to guard people and be aggressive with our front 4, and that would kind of say who we are, in a nutshell.
I realize that you've only been back for a couple months and probably haven't faced a ton of adversity from any games that have gone awry, obviously. But so far, what would you say are the biggest similarities and differences between working with Coach Rowe and Coach Clausen?
Well, they're 2 different men, obviously, but it's been a lot of fun for me the similarities in the way they run the program from the standpoint of who we recruit. Character's important, and that was important with Coach Rowe. It's important with Coach Clausen, and as much as who we bring in is a real important thing in how we run it. And that's been a lot of fun for me to see those similarities of, being with Coach in recruiting and then being with Coach Grove before in recruiting. So there's a lot of similarities from that standpoint. Probably a lot more advantages now with facilities, things like that. But yeah, it's going after that. You're back at a small private school, so it's a different recruiting situation versus being in a big public school. So that's probably the number one similar. I really have been encouraged. Like they do a lot of the similar things. Like obviously they're different people, and how they do things are different, but a lot of the same core values of how to get it done at Wake, and thus I think you see the kind of the similarities in the results.
So the facility is a little bit different now than when you
A lot different. Yeah, none of this was here. The building, the indoor, the practice field was there, but we were operating out of the Pruitt Center, and so it's a lot different. It's a nice facility, and Coach has done a good job of raising money, and football is important here, and I think that's what people need to understand, and you can see it just walking around the building, and that's a tribute to what Coach has done and what the guys have done. All right, you got it.
Having to work against that southern dialect back then.
Well, in Indiana, they wanted